I mean, drugs took everything from me. It really put me into a very dark place. I was happy, I was using drugs. I was sad, I was using drugs. I was angry, I was using drugs. That was the missing puzzle. All of a sudden, I saw a big knife. He just swinged it. I was so close to getting killed, but no, that didn't even stop me. I opened the door and there was the fireman. He said, "You're burning, man." I looked through the hole. The kitchen's burning, the living room's burning, the house is gone like that. I thought, there, I lost my daughter, a man that poisoning other people's childs. Your clothes get dirty, you wash them. Your cars get dirty, you wash them. How do you wash your soul?
Welcome. You're at Eternal Passenger YouTube channel. Can you tell us briefly about yourself?
Hi, my name is Ufuk Özhan. I was born in 1977 in Hendek, Sakarya, and I lived in London about 35 years. Since last year, I'm back to Istanbul. I was married about 10 years ago. I've got a daughter, she's 19. I finished uni in London.
What was the reason you started taking drugs?
I was quite young, I was 17, and I was quite curious about drugs. First, it started with alcohol, and then I started using marijuana, and that was the beginning of everything. I've done everything which I told myself that I've never done. You know, my family was always there, but there was something missing in me, which I refilled it with drugs. Yes, I was curious. That was the only reason I started on drugs.
How did the process go after you started using drugs? Can you tell us about your experiences at that time and the events that followed?
At first, it was fun because I was using lighter drugs. I went into the scale quite fast. Coke was quite damaging. I started losing my respect, my self-esteem. My family started to get to know about the drugs, which I lost their trust as well. I always thought I can get away with it. But when I realized I was really, really into it, it was very, very hard to leave. I mean, drugs took everything from me. It really put me into a very dark place. And yet, have I left it? No. I kept on using drugs. I kept on using drugs. At the end, I tried many times to quit. I went to 3 different rehabs, which they were quite expensive, quite good ones. But none of them were successful. It took 25 years of my life.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. We saw that 80% of our audience, including this video, are not subscribed to our channel. As you know, we are a non-profit organization and advertisements are disabled on our videos. So the only reason we are asking for this is to spread the truth. It may seem like a small act, but inshallah, it may be a means of guidance for many people. Now let's click the subscribe button and let's walk as an eternal passenger.
What was one of the most regrettable moments in your life?
At one point in my life, I left London. I started living in Edinburgh, which I left everything. I wasn't doing any business. I stopped using heavier drugs. The God put 2 doors in front of me. I had to make a decision. I had to find a good road or choose a bad one. One of the old friends, which he went into prison, after 7 years, he came out. At the time, I had a dry cleaner shop, an alteration shop in Edinburgh. One morning, I saw this car. He came out with a big bag, about 40 kilos, and he said, "Can you get rid of it?" That was the time that I should say, "My friend, I'm not doing anything. I don't do drugs no more. Take it and go." But 7 years that I wasn't doing anything, I started having this cramp in my stomach. I started to get excited and I thought, if I could sell this, I could make this much money. I could do this, do that. Without thinking, I said yes. At the time, I got 2 shops, I got 2 houses, I got a beautiful wife, beautiful daughter. I got everything a man wants. So I started taking drugs. I started behaving very differently. My ex would go, "This is not you. So why are you behaving like this? This is not the man I loved. You're not the same person." She went crazy. She tried to find out there was something wrong, but she couldn't pinpoint it because I would always hide it and everything to start the break. I start losing the business, losing the wife, losing the daughter, losing the money. In 2 years, I lost everything. Just that decision, just saying yes to that man. Then I was in the house one day. In the morning, I got up. I didn't smoke a cigarette. I smoked a spliff, and somehow I burned the couch in the balcony, and that went inside my living room and the kitchen, and I see someone's banging the door so bad. I opened the door, and there was the fireman. He said, "You're burning, man." I said, "Really?" I looked through the hole. The kitchen's burning, the living room's burning, the house is gone like that. Like I said, everything just gone deep and so quick as well. That I worked 6-7 years of my life and it just went like that. It was quite hard.
What was your family's reaction to this situation?
Of course they were sad, especially my mum. She was really hopeless. She didn't know what to do. She wanted to help me, but I was quite stubborn. First, it was my wife, my ex-wife. She put me in the rehab. With that, everybody knew about it. Everybody, all my family knew about the whole heavier drugs. Then I would start using again. They still couldn't do anything. I had to go to the point that I had to ask for help, which they never denied me. They always stood by me. They always put me into the rehabs, and they always had the hope, which I broke so many times. My mum, last time, she told me, "Son, I'm scared that you're gonna die, and I'm scared that you're gonna die before me, and that's gonna kill me." And that was really hard to swallow.
Have you ever lost a friend because of drugs?
Yes, I have, but it wasn't a overdose. He didn't die by the drugs, but he died for the reason of the drugs. He got murdered. A few of my friends got murdered. We called an ambulance. We put them in the ambulance. And normal people should be scared. Should say, "I should leave these drugs right now. I can die like him." No. As soon as I put him in the ambulance, so I could go back to the house and start using drugs. Yes, I've got friends who got killed for the drugs. Did that stop me? No.
What did drugs mean to you? What helped you to quit using substance?
I was happy, I was using drugs. I was sad, I was using drugs. I was angry, I was using drugs. That was the missing puzzle. But when I came in Turkey, I had no idea what kind of a rehab it was. Then I find out it was a religion-based rehab. 45 years of my lifetime, I never felt this peaceful. I never had this peace in me. I started praying here. First, it was difficult. I didn't understand nothing at the beginning. But then there was this little breaking point. Then I realized I could have that completion without the drugs. I felt peace. I had hope. It was incredible that I've changed in 9 months, that I've become this man that's sitting in front of you.
How has your life changed?
When I started first 2-3 weeks, I didn't understand anything. I was just thinking that I was praying. I was standing up, going down, standing up, going down. And every time I stood for praying, all these other thoughts used to come, and I'm thinking, it's not happening to me. It's not happening. There were so many questions that I had in my mind and so many doubts. I found the answers for that, and it was so evident. It was so obvious. I just had to look around me to see God. I couldn't see it before. And realizing there is hell, there is heaven, there's the judgment day, and I've done nothing to be ready for the judgment day. I mean, I had a good life. I had the businesses. I was always in good places, always good people, good girls around me. And I used to think that I'm a smart man, you know. I'm fast, I'm clever, until I find out how wrong I was. Because everything what I was doing was sinful. Everything I was doing was creating a good space in the hell for me.
Is there a moment that you were near death?
I've got a big scar. It starts from here to here. And I've got another scar that right in there. These were my Nigerian friends, which we used to call each other brothers, you know. One day, he changed his mind that we're not friends no more. Well, he was trying to take what I've got. All of a sudden, I saw a big knife. And without even no hesitation, he just swinged it. And I just moved my back. It just slid here, and it cut through right there, which you can see here. Anything could happen, you know. I realized how deep was the cut when I saw the paramedics. Did that stop me? No. I still carry on doing what I was doing. I was so close to getting killed, but no, that didn't even stop me.
What was the biggest harm of drugs on you?
At first, I was really shameful that I wasn't prayed for all this time, which I can do now. But there's only one thing that I can't replace. The time I had lost with my daughter. That I wasn't there when she was growing up. I wasn't there to be a father figure for her. I believe that I left her alone. I wish I could take that back and make it better.
How can an addict get rid of addiction?
Being addicted to something is one of the hardest things to leave. You can leave so many things behind, but your addictions is hard. They come everywhere. After all these tryings that I figure out, only way to leave addiction, to leave yourself to God. The only reason that I'm still clean, because I'm praying, because I want to live by the regulations of God. He put the rules, I'm following them now, and this keeps me clean.
Is there a possibility for those who say I will never start?
Definitely yes. 100% yes. A person should never ever believe herself that much, have that confidence to say, I would never take this drugs or that drugs. So I would advise anyone that not using, don't take the first, man. Never ever touch it.
How should the family react to a person who falls into drug addiction?
Education is very important. Everyone told me that I should never take drugs, but nobody actually explained it, why I shouldn't. Now, where I work, there's a kid that comes, he's only 15, and he's been using for 3 years. So he started taking drugs when he was 12. Nowadays, on TV, on the social media, you see so many stuff that it makes you want to take drugs. So we should educate our kids a lot better. We should tell them why they shouldn't take drugs.
What is the difference between the first two unsuccessful treatments and the recent one?
All the other hospitals, the rehabilitation centers that I've been, it was like a hotel. I would go, I'd put on weight, I would leave the drugs for the time being. Because there was no faith, all the doctors, I would make them believe that I was going better. I lied to him so well that doctors phoned my family and said that, he's doing so fine, I think that he's ready to leave. But he didn't know that everything that I told him was a lie. I left the hospital, first opportunity, I had it. A week later, and I started using again. And I stayed there 3 months. But in here, they repaired me inside out, My soul was dirty. I mean, your clothes get dirty, you wash them. Your cars get dirty, you wash them. How do you wash your soul? By praying, by knowing God. I've got my God by my side now. Who else I need? I need nobody.
Lastly, there are thousands of young people waiting to be saved. By looking at the camera, what would you like to say to them?
Back in the days when I was using, I used to think that I was in a deep hole, and I always thought that I could never come out from this. I'm talking to the people who are using right now. There is hope. All you have to do is just believe in yourself, and all you need, one person to believe, that is you. If you believe, there is a hope. I was right in the same spot where you are standing right now. If I could make it, anyone can make it. All you have to do, just act. Put a stop to it and want to leave. And there is help out there. Sometimes you think that no one could help you. If you want to come out, just follow us. We'll show you the way out.